Hello students, let's work this problem together. What is the value of x in the equation 2x plus 7 equals 15? Graph the solution on the number line. So the first thing we are going to do is to solve the equation. So let's go ahead and write it again. 2x plus 7 equals 15. This is a two-step equation because there are two operations that have happened. We are always in an equation trying to isolate the variable. In this case, we want the value of x, that is our variable. But the x is not by itself yet. It has been multiplied by 2, and then they added 7. Do you remember when we do the orders of operation? Yes, we do multiplication and then addition. When we're solving an equation, we are undoing. So we do the order of operations backwards. So whenever we have an equation, we are not going to do the multiplication first. We're actually going to leave that to the end. So wherever you see your variable, in this case, my x, I'm going to leave that for the end because I'm going to start with the addition or subtraction first. Okay, so in the order of operations, addition and subtraction would be last. That was the last thing they did. So to undo, to go backwards, that is the first thing we're going to start with. And we always do opposite operations. Inverse operations to undo. So I would like to add an additional little step. This kind of helps me to remember that in an equation, it's kind of like a balance. If I do something to one side, it's no longer equal or balanced. Okay, imagine if I had a scale and I had 3 apples on each side. If I take away an apple from one side, it's not going to be balanced anymore. If I want it to remain balanced, I have to take 1 apple from each side. So that's exactly what we do with an equation. So to help me remember that, I'm going to draw a line down the equal sign. That reminds me to do the same thing to both sides of this line. So the first thing that I see here is my plus 7. Remember we said we're going to start with the addition or subtraction. In this case, they added 7. We want to do the inverse, which is the opposite of adding, is subtracting. So we're going to subtract 7. But whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So on this side, positive 7 minus 7 leaves us with 0. And all we have left is 2x. So we can bring down the 2x. But on the other side, we have 15 minus 7, which gives us 8. Okay, so now we have 2 times x is equal to 8. So now we're on the step where 2 is being multiplied by x. And 2 times something gives us 8. This is easy for us right now. We can probably guess 2 times 4 gives me 8. But sometimes, especially when we're working with fraction or decimal numbers, it's not that easy. So it's important for us to practice and understand the process. So if they're multiplying 2 times the x, what is the inverse operation of multiplying? That is correct, dividing. So we would divide by 2. Since they multiply by 2, we are undoing and we divide by 2. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So on this side, we will also divide by 2. Now, let's take a look at what happened here. What is 2 divided by 2? 2 divided by 2 is 1, exactly. So this turns into 1x, which is x, right? 1x is the same thing as just having x. On the other side, we have 8 divided by 2. Remember, the numerator goes inside and the denominator goes outside. 2 goes into 8 4 times. So x equals 4. Okay, so now that we have our solution, we are going to graph it on the number line. When we have the equal sign, it's saying there is only one solution. Only one solution will make this equation true. If we put any other number besides 4 in place of the x, we will not get 15. So because there is only one solution, when we have the equal sign, we represent it on a number line with a dot, and that's it. No arrows pointing in either direction. And it is a closed dot because we are saying that this number and this number only is what we want. Okay, so we would go on 4, and we said our solution is 4, and we would put a closed dot on 4. Don't forget, we want to circle our solution was 4.